You're starting to see it in the strength of the companies that are reporting. So the market is really focused on those companies that got strong market positions, a decent balance sheet, and the ability to pass on those costs. And where you're seeing those costs not being pushed through and earnings disappointing, those companies are being punished really heavily. So there's a real focus on that. And I think that the operating word there is that there is a willingness to participate in equities, but resilience is really going to be important to get through the next six months or so. So there's a focus on those kind of names. Greg's reported recently. I thought there were some interesting things in their earnings report. They were able to grow top line revenues over the Q3. They were able to pass some of the cost inflation through, and they seem to be managing okay. And so that's an indication of business that I think seems to be on a relative basis weathering the storm.
And how much of these inflationary headwinds do you think are actually being accounted for into earnings season in terms of earnings estimates at this point?
I think largely, most analysts are aware of the environment and are taking them into account. I think that the big unknown is how much of that cost inflation is being able to pass through in sort of headline prices or onto your customers. And that's the uncertainty. The other thing which is less certain is, what happens next year. So I'll come back to, the indication of Greg's. Greg's have indicated that they expect those costs to continue increasing into next year, but they've got a strategy to manage that. And I think that you should be building in sort of incremental labor costs, incremental energy costs going into next year. The flip side of that, and what's happening you touched on the house builders underperforming. I think real estate might provide some let up that as new stores are opened, you might be able to open them at lower rates, and so there will be some counterbalance going into next year.